Hey guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with another review video for you. Okay guys, so I'm here for a review video that I'm going to do on A Court of Mist and Fury, and I have zero chill if you can't tell. I'm warning you now, it's going to be a hot mess because this book, I have not felt this deeply for a book since jeez. This was like up there with Twilight when I first read Twilight, and I was like so into Twilight. That's how I am with this book. And I'm like, can't take it. Like, this book, let's just say, like, obviously it's a 5 out of 5 stars. And as soon as I was done with this book, I did not want to read another book. I wanted to pick this back up and read it again, and I have very rarely wanted to do that, but I just was not done with it, and I wanted to do it all over again. So if you guys have not read it, this is the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is the second book. The sizing is quite different. This one, okay, I need to address something before I continue. Again, this is going to be a hot mess of a video, and I apologize, but I just have zero chill and I can't help it. I did a review video of this book, and after reading this book, I'm like, I want to take everything back, but I'm going to leave it up because that one is a very true video, and I didn't know what was in this book, so I'm just going to leave it up just for you guys, but I changed everything. Oh my god. Zero chill, guys. I apologize. I just love this so much. Okay. Anyways, Beauty and the Beast retelling. If you have not watched this, you will for sure be spoiled. So please exit now and then come back later and talk to me down below about it because I need some venting. Because after watching this, like, reading the videos, and then I've watched, like, review videos to try to, like, calm my chill and get it out. I just can't. Like, I'm exploding about this, and I just need to get my thoughts out, and then I might still reread the book because I cannot get enough of this. Sarah J. Maas, what have you done to me? Let's just get into the video. I've got notes galore because too many thoughts going on in my head. Okay, I want to talk about the characters first. So, first of all, this is a new adult book. This is my first new adult book that I have ever read. I didn't realize it was new adult until after I finished it, and then I saw someone else's in review saying, hey, this is a new adult book. And I'm like, that totally makes sense because me and Gabby, we buddy read this together, and we were even talking about it like, this was definitely not on the same level as Twilight. This was not YA. Because, guys, there is sex scenes in this book, and they are pretty steamy in this. So if you are not of age, I definitely recommend there's definitely mature content in this book. Let's go into the characters. So, in A Court of Thorns and Roses, I was Team Hamlin, and I was very vocal about that, and I apologize. So, I understood Hamlin and his, like, possessive, primal tendencies towards Farah. But they have now gone from, like, a somewhat acceptable level, like I thought that was just, like, fantasy, fae, primal tendencies, to now they have been, like, really accentuated in this book, and it is horrific. And I am totally against Hamlin now, and, God, literally, like, I understand. But when I put up this video, I lost at least 2 subscribers within, like, the first hour of putting up the video, and I understand. Please, like, if you are doing that, like, fine if you want to unsubscribe, tell me down below. You will change everything once you read the second book, because I totally did. Okay, I'm trying to stay on track here. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the characters. Hamlin, he really pissed me off in this book because clearly Farah has PTSD, and I really like that Sarah J. Maas has addressed the PTSD and she didn't, like, gloss over it. Like, fantasy characters, they tend to go through really horrific things in their books, and they just are like, I'm fine with it, like, I don't need to deal with my issues, and they skate past it. This is what Hamlin's trying to do. He also has PTSD, and he has PTSD from a while ago, and they just keep piling on his issues, and he never wants to deal with it. He wants to shut it in a corner and pretend like it doesn't exist. Well, it's not gonna get better, and Farah, like, can't take that, and she can't deal with, like, first that he's not opening up to her, and that she is, like, being shoved into a corner too inside the house. So I really got that they address PTSD and how unhealthy PTSD is, and ignoring it does not make it go away. But it really, really pisses me off that in this book, every time that Rysand has invoked the bond and has pulled her away from Hamlin, every time she comes back, he has to, like, he reclaims her sexually. Like, doesn't give a crap about what's going on inside your head, but let me take your body, and then I'll put my scent on you, and then you're mine. Like, holy crap, that is so problematic, and I can't take it. Like, oh, that made me so mad during the entire thing. Another thing that really pissed me off in this book was Lucien. Holy crap, dude. Like, he was like, I liked him in the first book, but I wasn't like, there was just something off about him, and I never really fully, like, fell in love with him as a character. He was always like a little, I don't know, there was a weird line there that I was not complete fans of, and he definitely showed a lot more of that line that I really disliked, that he was more loyal to Hamlin than Farah. I get it, like, Hamlin was your friend, and I'm sure he's got PTSD from his family, and that he, like, Hamlin saved him from his family and shit. I understand all of that. I understand the loyalty part. The part that I don't understand is you clearly see that he is way over bounds with Farah, and he's treating her awful, and you, like, try to stand up, but then you, like, waffle, and you, like, just fall over when he gives you pushback, and it's like, holy crap, like, that's not okay that you are so, like, well, I tried, sorry, you're gonna have to live with it, like, holy crap, no. Rysand is the next character I want to talk about. Now, I'm totally, like, team Rysand and Farah, and I love them together, and their relationship's adorable. In the beginning of the book, though, so even after reading this entire book, I'm still not, I have problems with the things that he does in the Court of Thorns and Roses, and I get that he was, like, trying to help her and stuff, and that being trapped under the mountain has warped you, but I'm still not okay with him, like, pretending that he was her sexual, like, play toy, and I really, really dislike this. In that, it was a very, like, big issue for me in the Court of Thorns and Roses, and he still is, like, definitely not a perfect character in A Court of Mist and Fury. Don't get me wrong, I love him, and I love him as a character, but I have some major issues with that, and I feel like people aren't addressing it, is that he still treated her to goad Hamlin, but it was like, you already knew at that point that you were mated with her, like, how can you treat her like that? Does that bug anybody else? Like, I get that he didn't, like, actually touch her and stuff, but he was still exploiting her like that, and it's like, couldn't you have, like, goad him in a different way to save her? Like, so that still bothers me in A Court of Thorns and Roses, and all of the good stuff that he has done does not excuse that fact. Same with, he still didn't share, at the very beginning, he still didn't share all of his things with Farah. And with the rest of his team, like, he still kept things from Armand that he, like, didn't fully disclose everything going on. And so that bothered me, that it was like he's still a little untrustworthy because he was still self-fulfilling. He was trying to do stuff that would help his court and him first without giving them full knowledge of what was going on and what is at stake for them. So that really, like, rubbed me the wrong way, but I, like, tried to move past that because he does get better at the end. Now, Jurian, I don't quite understand him. Like, is he, like, just a war lover? Like, why is he so against peace? Like, I feel like there's more of a backstory that I'm hoping we're going to understand a little bit more in the third book. I don't understand why he, like, he was just enslaved by these people, and now he's, like, ready to still be mad at the humans about things. Like, I don't understand. If you understand this, please comment down below and explain this part to me, because, like, he was trapped in watching all of this horror, and now he's out and he's ready to inflict all of this horror still, and I just don't understand, like, what is his deal? If you guys know, again, please let me know, because what? The queens confused the heck out of me in this book. Like, I knew as soon as they were, like, toying with Rysand that they were not going to be a good deal, and then they were, like, constantly just playing with him. They weren't like ever seriously considering it. Here's my question to them though, like, why would you choose to be a queen with an immortal life, or like to get into an immortal life when you are already a queen of the mortal world? Like, you're already at the cream of the crop, like the top of your game. You realize once that you are turned immortal, like, you are gonna start down on the very bottom. Like, you are not going to be cream of the crop in the Fae world. Like, you are still going to be thought of as like human mortal trash on the bottom. And so that part is so confusing, especially when you're working with the King of Illyrian. Like, he doesn't like mortals, so you think like just because you were turned into it is still like, I feel like it's very like Harry Potter Half-Blood type of stuff. Like, you are still going to be bottom of the crop type of thing. Like, I don't understand what the reason was when they had Fae protection to save them and they chose to join the Fae and be the bottom. Like, you realize there's like servants and things that are bottom of the crap of the Fae world, right? Like, that's what you want? Okay, I want to talk about the Court of Dreams. Holy crap, I love them. Like, I love the entire, like, Rysand's court feels like such a family and such like a cute little band of misfits, and I absolutely love it. Like, holy crap, I love this. And Tamlin's court, like, just comparing the two, Spring Court and the Court of Dreams, is the Spring Court is very like hierarchy, like, this is what I tell you to do. This is like very, it's not like a democracy, and I get that it's not supposed to because he's like the king or whatever, the king of the Spring Court. But still, like, at least, like, Rysand's very humble, and he's like, this is my group and we make decisions together. And the Queen, and Tamlin's like, no, my word is law, like, I'm never wrong, like, shut your mouth, like, I don't want to deal with any of your shit, like, no. So I love the Court of Dreams, and I want to break it down. So we've got Armand, Mor, Cassian, and Azriel. Armand is really creepy, and I don't know what type of being she is, but I am so ready to figure out what is going on with her and how she became who she is and how she got out from underneath the, like, where the bone carver is and stuff like that. Is going to be such a cool story arc, and I am so excited for that. Mor, so it sounds like she had a really cool past in the back. Mor sounds like she had a really cool backstory, and that she was like influential in other wars, and she's clearly very well known in the mortal world as well as the immortal world. And she's like, so like, screw you guys, like, you guys treated me like crap, and I'm gonna show you, and I love her. And she is so good with Farah. Like, she's friends with Farah because she wants to be friends with Farah, not because like Rysand is making her be friends with her. And I felt like that was kind of how Lucian was. Like, Lucian wanted to be friends with Farah, but he never really wanted to in the beginning. Like, he was forced to because of the whole curse on them. So I really love Mor, and I love that she feels like a very genuine character to Farah. We also have Ianthea, or whatever, I don't know how to say this. I like knew she was issues. Like, she was way too on board, like, let me shut you up and be pretty, like, this is how you're supposed to be. Like, oh, I really did not like her, and she was too creepy, like, talking about wanting to breed with the High Fae, and I'm like, whoa, like, that's so creepy, like, nope. So I knew she was like, would have issues in this book, but I didn't realize how big of issues. And when we see that flashback for Rysand, I'm like, holy crap, that's so disturbing. I was not expecting that. Back to the Court of Dreams. So we've got Cassian and Azriel. I love their relationship together, and they're like brothers. So we have sort of the love triangle. So we've got Cassian and Azriel and Mor. Mor is way into Azriel, and Azriel's way into Mor. But Cassian is like breaking them from ever really getting together because he's trying to protect his like brother in arms, and he doesn't like want to get hurt like Azriel got, or how Cassian got hurt. And I get this, but it's like, you are also stopping him from being happy, so that kind of bothered me. And speaking of triangles, so I'm hoping that once Cassian gets with his like mate, that he will be a little more lax and be able to let Azriel and Mor be together. Not that everybody has to be shipped off together, but they need to be shipped together. Like, because like Mor makes Azriel better, and I love them together. Also, so after reading this book, I had to like get some of my feelings out, so I went on Tumblr, and I saw this saying that was like, in the book they've like highlighted something about Nastya being something with fire, Okay guys, so I found on the Tumblr post, so it says, when Farah paints the drawers, she paints each one, like the spring flowers and she's obviously the stars and moon, and Nastya was the flames because she's got like such a fiery spirit. So I found this on Tumblr and I was like, holy crap, like that's what really clicked with me, that Nastya and Cassian are supposed to be like mated together, and I am so ready for that because they're going to be so adorable and entertaining, and oh, I'm so ready for May to come with a third book. Like, also, can we talk about, like, this is only going to be a 3-book series. Like, I want so many more books with these people. Back to the Tumblr post. This is in the book, and it says, Cassian surveyed Reese from head to foot, his shoulder-length black hair shifting with the movement. So fancy tonight, brother, and he made poor Farah dress up too, he winked at me. There was something rough-hewn about his features, like he'd been made of wind and earth and flame, and all those civilized trappings were little more than an inconvenience. I'm so ready for that, like, so ready, guys. One extra little tidbit about Azrael I really, really love, that they are so much different than Tamlin and Lucian, because Azrael holds Rye's ground. Like, he is his, like, shadow singer, and he's a spy, and he, like, is very quiet and calm, and, like, he obviously has like a very dark, twisted something going on with all the shadows, but he was like, this is what I say is good for our war zone and our like army and stuff, like this is what I'm saying. And he doesn't back down from Rise, and he holds his ground, and I love that he has that pushback to deal with, because that's such a good, healthy relationship. It's not just like dictating someone, so love that about Azrael. Okay, and now I just want to talk about a little, like, few points of this book that I was freaking out about. Okay, Tamlin, this is so not in order, by the way. Tamlin and Lucian partnering with the King of Hybern. What? I was freaking out when I read this. Like, holy crap, guys. Like, there's a point where it was like, he was being just like an a-hole, and this is like, holy hell, what went through your mind? Like, you have to be so messed up. Also, like, Lucian, like, how can you just, like, stand by and let this happen and, like, think that this is okay? Like, it's fine. Like, I need to let him do this because we have to have a unified front. Like, no, dude, like, you let this happen, you will have no unified front because you all are gonna be dead. Like, holy crap. This was, like, a dumbest move. Another point I want to talk about is Farah being mated with Rise, and this really irritated me. Like, I loved they were mated together, but she got so pissed off at him. Like, I like that they had that conflict where then she would have to accept it, and she was choosing. Like, it still felt like I've got a choice. It wasn't forced on her, but it wasn't forced on her to begin with. Like, if he would have told her in the beginning that, hey, we're mated, like, hi, you're stuck with me, why wouldn't you be more pissed then? Like, I don't even like you right now. Why would I want to be mated to you? Like, he let her fall in love with him along the way. Like, that is the best way possible. Like, why are you pissed at him because he kept this from you? Like, I get that she, like, had that issues with Tamlin of him, like, keeping everything from her, but this is something totally different. So, I'm irritated that she, like, had a pity party for herself in 3 days or whatever. But I did like during this pity party that she, like, got back her painting. Although, I thought it was weird that she was like, screw it, I'm painting the entire interior of the house. Like, that's weird. I just thought that was too far. But I did like that she was, like, painting again. I really loved all of the Farah getting trained scenes. I liked that she had to struggle to get her powers. It wasn't, like, instantly, like, I'm born Fae, bitches, and now I know how to use everything, and I'm gonna take out everybody. Like, I like that there's struggle, and I like that, like, she had to start from the bottom to understand her powers, and that there were several mess-ups along the way. I think this was really, really good in her character arc to see her struggle through it. I'm gonna go back to my issues with A Court of Thorns and Roses, with Ryan treating her like a sex toy thing. How it bothered me in A Court of Thorns and Roses, it really bothered me in A Court of Mist and Fury. Like, I get that you have to play a part, but what type of future are you setting up that she has to play this part for you? And like, how you've already you reinforced that, started out with Under the Mountain, and then you reinforce it by bringing her back, like saying that she left her husband or her fiance to be with you so she can be your, like, sex play thing. Like, this really bothered me, and I understand, like, that the Court of Nightmares wouldn't have accepted her and stuff, and that he has to put on this, like, evil front, but how are you planning on getting past this? Like, he's not thinking future-wise what this means for Farrah. Like, your world and your court of dreams will accept her because they know the truth, but the rest of the world isn't going to accept her being equal or being a high lady, which she is now. When you treat her like that is so problematic to me, and I really, really was like cringing during that entire scene because it's like so disgusting that the only way for it to be accepted is if you treat her like she's around just for sex. Like, so another question that I had while reading this was the Illyrian Camps, how Rysand can seem to control almost anything, but he can't control the Illyrian Camps. Like, he said that when they visited the Illyrian Camps, he was trying to get women to be trained, and the one person he was talking to was giving him like pushback about training the women after they did the chores, and how this was like as much as he could do, and other camps wouldn't even get this far. And I'm like, why aren't other Illyrian camps afraid of him if he's this powerful being and he's the Night Court, like the High Lord of the Night Court? Like, why doesn't he have more pull over these camps? So I was a little confused on why that was like, I can control all of these people, but this thing, I can't control them. They ignore me. Like, what? I did like, though, they were trying to train the women in the camps, and that Moore still visited and was like, all you people suck, like, like being sassy to them and stuff. So when Farrah was training, Rhys had her get her own engagement ring, and I loved this. I loved that it really ties Farrah in with his mom, because his mom was such a big like part of him, and you could tell that like how devastated he was when she was slaughtered. That I love that even though she's gone, she still is like helping approve Farrah, and so I love this, is that she had to go like pull it out because only someone who could pull it out of this house would be worthy of him, and I just like validation of the ship, and I love it. So let's talk about the other courts. So we got a glimpse into the summer court, and I really like the setting, and it's cool. I didn't care for the summer court. The summer court felt a little too much like the spring court, and maybe that's how the rest of the courts are, but it felt too like dictatorship. But the king seemed really cool, and like he actually wanted to help people. But I really disliked the flirtation of the summer court. Holy crap, I disliked this so much. Like, it made me so uncomfortable because she's like, I think it'd be really easy to love you. Like, that's just a casual thing that I say. Like, that, no. And then, like, he, like, reciprocated. And there was a point in playing a part to get what you want or to use as a distraction so you can find the book. But that was, like, too far, and it was just, all of it was so uncomfortable. And I really didn't like them together, and I didn't even like pretending that they were going to be together. And then after the task, I loved that they pulled in the water rafts, and that Armand was like laughing at her, like, only you with a mortal heart would save these ugly creatures, and then it like worked out in their favor, and like that was the only way that they could have survived. And I love that they tied that into it, and like her goodness through Akatar shone through and helped her in A Court of Mist and Fury to help better the world. I loved that was all a part of it. It really, really devastated me about the red rubies and how hard Rysand took to this, and that he just wanted a friend, and he wanted to like make this better world, and like he was reaching out to the summer court, and he wanted them to be like allies, and now they like screwed him over because he didn't realize like what good he's trying to do. And I really hope that they are able to have a realization of this, that after all of this and they do go to war, that the summer court will take back the red rubies, and that they'll be able to work together and make a better world. And I'm really, really hoping this will work out for them. Speaking of the sisters getting turned, I'm hoping that the war, they will be included in this, and I think that they're going to be so BA in this next book because they've got these special powers. And do you guys think that in this next book that the sisters will also have all of the different powers, because they didn't each get each other like the Lord's powers put into her like Farrah did, but they get turned into the immortal a different way than the immortals normally born. So I'm really, really excited to see what this means for Farrah, and I'm really, really excited to see Nastya, because she said this one I could tell was different. And they both survived. I was really expecting one to die. And so I'm so excited to see what this means for them. Lucien being mated with Lane. Like, I don't know how well I feel about this. This feels a little too, like, let's just match everybody up, you know? But I think that it's essential because she's gonna need an ally, and now she's got like a bargaining chip because clearly her own life wasn't enough of a bargaining chip for Lucien to give a damn about what happened to her with Hamlin, that I'm hoping that she'll now have an ally inside the spring court besides herself. Can we just talk about her? My heart was broken at the end because she had to like pretend that Rysand did all this against her will, and she like begged him to take away the bond, and I really thought this meant that they weren't going to be mated anymore, and I was like ready to cry because I couldn't handle that, and they just got together. But then you find out later that she's a High Lord and they got married the other night and it's on the other hand, and I'm like, yes, thank God, because I can't handle them being separated. But can we just talk about, like, she's going to have to play with this charade. So she is going to have to go along with Hamlin and pretend like she still loves him, which cringe, 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 cringe. So much of that. Like, we've already seen snippets of that in this book, and I'm like, ugh, can't take it. Can't take that horribleness. Also, like, the way that Hamlin is in the beginning of the book, he was having to claim her sexually to be okay with everything. So I'm just like cringing that this is gonna happen. And I'm really hoping that they'll still be able to talk like throughout their minds together or pass notes or something so we can still get the Rysand-Farah communication going. I wonder if they're gonna, like, the third book is gonna be split into dual perspectives instead of just one because they're in separate courts, but I'm hoping that we'll see, like, interactions in between them. Oh, guys, I'm so ready for this book. Zero chill, guys. I'm sorry. Zero chill. So, I want to talk about the new book coming out. So, they're talking before about being pregnant and having kids and how kids are so rare and special in this world. But I really love that they are not jumping into this because they're like, well, I don't want to bring a baby into this world. And they're like, sweet, I'm going to take the tonic. Like, we're not having kids. Do you think that they're still going to stand by this, or do you think that it's going to be like... So they talked about taking the tonic, but then we never saw her take the tonic. So I don't know if they're going to have kids or if they're going to have kids or they're not going to have kids. I'm kind of hoping they're not going to have kids, and then like at the end of the world war they're going to find out they're pregnant or something then after all of it. But I think like oftentimes we see in these love story arcs is that, well, now you guys are together, now you're gonna make a family. Like, that makes you in love, and that makes a perfect story. And I think that that is so unnecessary that I like that they discussed how they were going to deal with it beforehand and not just like, well, shit, now I'm pregnant and I guess we're having kids. So I like that they addressed this, but I'm kind of wondering if she is going to stick with this for the last book or what is going to happen with that. I'm also really hoping in the new book that Lucien is going to join the, like, help out the Court of Dreamers, and that maybe he'll take over the Spring Court. Like, I don't know what I want Hamlin to do. Like, I don't know what I want for him. I don't know if I want him to die because he bothers me so much now, but I really don't like him. I think he should not be a person in control, and he doesn't want to be a person in control. So I'm like, are they even allowed to like pass the torch to someone, especially someone who is in a different court? Because technically Lucien's from the fall court, so can he pass the torch to Lucien in the spring court? So I'm hoping that would be really cool to watch him like be like, this is not, like, I can't handle this, and this, you are so good at this, because he does mention that in Akatar, that he's like, he has a knack for this, he's good with the mingling and things, like, he was born to do this. So I'm hoping that they're like, you deal with this, I can't do this, and that Lucien kind of like takes over and then is able to pair with Court of Dreams. I am so hoping that would happen, but I can't wait to find out in May. Also, in the new book, do you think Hamlin like talks about how he's going to try to be better, and I think like bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But do you think that he's going to include Farah in all of his decision making this time around? And if so, like, how long is he going to let her into this until he figures out that they have a leak inside? So I'm really excited to see like the spy thing happen, but I wonder if he will actually be able to share things with, or is she gonna have to do some investigating? Also, I'm really hoping that she is able to hone her powers a lot better. Even in the spring court, like, she's gonna be able to train without Hamlin noticing. Like, so many good possibilities in this book, and I'm so excited for it. Also, with Iethia, like, where the hell did she go? What's with the High Priestesses? Like, that part is totally eluding me of what is to come with that, but I feel like we have not seen the end of her. I really thoroughly enjoyed this book, if you can't tell, with my zero chill in this entire video. I absolutely adored it. 5 out of 5 stars. Go read it. Talk to me down below. Come fangirl with me because I can't deal with it right now. And I'm probably going to reread it sometime this year and probably right before the third book comes out. Also, it's gonna be also really sad that there's only gonna be 3 books, and I really want it to be like a 10-book series. Like, I'd be okay with that. Like, I just want to live in this world forever. Zero chill enough that I'm really considering rearranging my books so I can display my Sarah J. Maas books in the video, because they're all like pretty and designed up here, but you can't really see it because I guess I can pin you up and you'll see a little sneak peek. So I do have all of my books up here, but I've been thinking about rearranging them because I love them that much. So yeah, come talk to me down below what you guys thought of it. If you guys saw any issues that I didn't see, please tell me down below, because I would love talking to you about that, because I didn't realize how many issues I missed in ACOTAR, and no one told me. So come talk to me down below. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.